Welcome, welcome, welcome to another episode of From the Desk of Dr. Ron. We do this show each and every Saturday at 12 noon Central Standard Time. And I'm just glad you decided to stop by and listen to the rant and rave of Dr. Ron. As always, when I go live, I like to give a shout out to my mentor, my spiritual leader, person that helps keep me inspired, Dr. Hunt. Dr. Hunt has been with me 30 plus years. I say this each and every time because there are some people that tune in sometimes that may not know that. And I always like to give, love to him because he has been with me for such a long time. And he and I are friends, we're brothers, we're family. When I suffer, he calls and helps me out with words of inspiration, and vice versa. If he's going through something, I reach out to him and offer words of inspiration as well. So if you don't have a mentor, a spiritual leader, or somebody that you can reach out to when things just ain't racking right, get you one. And then pray for them. Pray for them constantly because they pray for you. So shout out to Dr. Hunt once again, each and every time. I'm going to do it. Today, I do a multitude of shows throughout the week. And on this week on the Street News Now show, we were talking about the current events, things that are going on in the world. And something dropped, in my question box as fear. What are we really afraid of? And I say we, I include myself into it because there are many different demographics that have different levels of fear. And, I just wanted to kind of talk about it a little bit on today. Fear is something that can make you make bad decisions. Sometimes you have to identify what you're really afraid of before you overreact or react in such a way that can cause some very detrimental problems in your life and others' lives. Sometimes people respond to fear with violence. If you're afraid, you want to attack something. You want to, beat up on something. You want to, try and get that object of your fear away from you. We talked about on this week at the Street News Now the January 6 hearings that are going forward, and people attacked the existing form of government, the Constitution and the powers to be. They were on an opposite opinion of what they believe things should be, and they attacked violently. But they were really afraid. There was a lot of fear, and they were acting on their fear. There were many lies that were put forth that allowed people to think that, oh no, they stole the election. They didn't steal the election. As we're finding out, that was a lie, that was a plan, that was a plot that was put forth by the last administration. And I'm saying administration because it was more than just Trump involved. It was him and his inner court jesters, as I like to call them. And it was also people that were in, I'm just going to say, the Republican Party. They came up with a plan and said, well, this could work. And if we play the cards right, we'll be able to disrupt the current flow of the way things are supposed to go. Well, they were acting out on a fear that if they're not in control and in power, they won't be able to rape and pillage the people that they're supposed to take care of. Yeah, I said it, rape and pillage. It's unfortunate that fear has generated and rooted itself in our political system. There are those on the Democratic side, there are those on the Republican side, and then there's those that are independents. But they all operate out of fear because they don't want to lose the power that they have, that they've accumulated being where they're at. And the fear of losing that power causes them to do things that are really not in the best interest of the people that they serve. You know, I hate to say it, but the government doesn't serve the people anymore. Neither the Republicans or the Democrats are doing what they were appointed to do or elected to do as our elected officials. They're supposed to serve the interests of the people of the United States. Now, the reason why I came to that conclusion, they have put billions and billions of dollars into, war efforts in the Ukraine, but yet they will not put billions and billions of dollars into the relief effort of the United States. We have so many needs. The people here in the United States have so many needs, and our money is going out the door. They print up some more money and send it to someplace else, based on the fact of, or their need might be greater than our need. Well, they're not looking at the needs of the people who elected them. The needs of the people are great. We're suffering greatly. There's not many of us that have a lot of resources, and I say us because that includes me. So we have fear that we can perish for not having enough resources to be able to get what we need: bread, milk, baby milk, to supply the needs of the families in America. But yet we can send rockets and missiles to other countries. The powers to be should be afraid. They're making mistakes on major scales. They need to stop and find out what the needs of the people are. The one percenters in this country have put their needs before the people. I remember last year during the pandemic, the Republicans was crying, "Oh no, they'll never go back to work. We've given them too much money." They gave us a relief package of $2,000, $1,600. How long do they think that's gonna last? They put this money out there and they felt like that was supposed to last the people forever and ever. No. People were starving then. There were people that had been in food lines that had never been in food lines before, trying to feed their families. I was talking with somebody on yesterday, and we were talking about the middle class. Well, normally my response would say that there is no such thing as a middle class anymore. It's just a working class. And then I thought about that statement that I said, that people that are making $100,000, $200,000, $300,000, that's the middle class now. Because you have a billionaire class and a millionaire class that are making decisions for everybody, and they're not being taxed fairly, and they're not doing their part to take care of the people that help keep them in the millions and the billions that they have. There's a lot of things that we need to stop, look, and see what the fear that's plaguing this country, and what are we going to do to try and help resolve some of the fears that we have. Well, one of the first things that I would suggest is we need to stop reacting to what the government is saying. Now, what do you mean by that? Well, when the Supreme Court passed down a ruling saying that abortion is illegal, since when do we need the United States Supreme Court to tell you what's best for your household. You have a mother and a father and a family. They make decisions for their household, not the Supreme Court. So whatever the best decisions for your family are, you need to make those decisions. And you can't worry about what the Supreme Court says and does, just like we can't worry about what the Republicans and the Democrats are doing. We can't worry about that. We got a family. We got light bills to pay. We got, food to put on the table. And usually the head of the household makes good decisions for their scenario. So you really don't need the oversight of the United States government to tell you what you can do and what you can't do. I'll be 65 years old in a little less than a month. And the decisions of the United States government are never in my best interest. There are things that I would like to see happen, for the overall best interest of, African Americans, blacks, colored, whatever you go by this week, indigenous people. There are decisions that they should have made towards us that they have not done, and we're not even on the agenda. So are we going to live our lives based on what they do or not do for us, or what they decide or do not decide for us? We can't do it. We have to face our realities and face our responsibilities without fear. So we cannot be alarmed or upset when they don't make decisions that are beneficial from the people that they represent. So we need to face fear and deal with fear and continue to operate strong. We need to come together as a unit. We need to come together and embrace one another. I remember a scientific, I want to say solution. In science, they have a thing called capillary attraction. And capillary attraction basically says that if you put a drop of water on one end of the table, put another drop of water on the other end of the table, they will seek each other out until they join and make themselves one giant drop of water. So now they're turned into a puddle. The more drops of water that join that drop of water, they can turn into a puddle. And the larger the drops come together, the unity. And it's harder to eliminate when you join together in unity. So I say that the opposite of living in fear and isolation is to come together with those that are in the struggle to survive and see what you can all come up with in order to feed yourselves, survive all of the adversities that's going on in the world, and not worry about people that are living in fear. Fear is something that is not a fruit of the Spirit, as I like to say. You can't be afraid to live your life, but then you cannot allow others to make decisions out of fear for your life. Wow, that's a mouthful. So if your government is operating out of fear, then you got to separate yourselves from their decisions, because it shouldn't affect what goes on in your household. They can't tell you what's best for your household, because basically they don't know, and they don't love you enough to try to find out. So that's my comments for this week. Fear. What are we really afraid of? And then how are we going to face our fear, and how are we going to deal with our fear in order to be able to move our family forward and prosper and survive? So I hope I said something that's encouraging to you on today. Don't allow the government to run your household. Don't allow the government to tell you what you can and cannot do that's best for you, because the oversight of the government is very short-sighted, okay? The government are making decisions based on a document that was written, in the 18th and 19th century, and things have evolved. We got automobiles and airplanes now. When the Constitution was originally written, the forefathers were riding horse and buggies. They were slave owners. We didn't have rights. Women didn't have rights. Women were property just as much as men were property. So to make decisions based on those types of things, what are they afraid of? And what are they trying to make us afraid of? Well, me, for one, I ain't falling for it. I'm not going to live in fear. And I'm going to continue to praise God, thank God for every day that I'm here. And I hope these words have encouraged you to do the same. Well, let me jump over here and invite you guys to come see me each and every Tuesday right here on YouTube Live at 5 p.m. Central Standard Time on the Ask Dr. Ron show. I look forward to you guys coming to hang out with me. I do a show each and every every Sunday also, Black History Moment. So check me out tomorrow. Every Thursday, I do a show on Street News Now on Facebook and YouTube Live every Thursday at 8 p.m. Central Standard Time. And of course, we have our show each and every noon on Saturday from the desk of Dr. Ron. So I appreciate all you guys liking and sharing and hanging out with me. Go to my website, ask-dr-ron.com. When you get over there, please browse around, support all of my advertisers. They make it possible for me to do what I do here on the Ask Dr. Ron show. So I thank you guys for making contributions. All those that have supported up to this time, please keep on supporting. I need your support. Please subscribe, like, and share. Subscribe, like, and share. All right, you guys, you stay safe. I look forward to seeing you guys on tomorrow on my Black History Moment.